This episode is brought to you by Indeed. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/SBO. Terms and conditions apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want your connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Fiscally responsible, financial geniuses, monetary magicians. These are things people say about drivers who switch their car insurance to Progressive and save hundreds. Visit Progressive.com to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states or situations.
Why does the number 6 want a rematch against 5 and 7? To get even with the odds.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by 2 really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
Your show was better when you had medical questions. Hey!
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic echographic and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent of Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in a tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease, so I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve.
It's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio, now a podcast. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Tacey. Hello, Tacey. So
Hello,
good to see you again.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You look delightful today.
Oh, thanks.
It's hot up here, and Tacey kind of, shed a few layers of clothing.
No, she didn't. She did
yeah,
not.
you kind of did. This is a show for people who never listened to a medical show on the radio or the internet. I did. If you have a question you're embarrassed to take to a regular medical provider if you can't find an answer anywhere else, I'm not wearing pants, Tace.
Are you not?
Nope. Give us a call at 347-766-4323. Sheila.
Yes, he is.
That's 347-POO-HEAD. Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcasts, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Most importantly, we are not your medical providers. Take everything you hear with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on the show without talking over with your doctor, nurse practitioner, practical nurse, physician assistant, pharmacist, chiropractor, acupuncturist, yoga master, physical therapist, clinical laboratory scientist, registered dietitian, or whatever. Right? Please don't forget stuff.drsteve.com, stuff.drsteve.com for all of your shopping needs. You can scroll down and see the Rode robotic guitar tuner, which if you need to buy something for somebody and they have a guitar, there it is. Inexpensive and one of the coolest gifts you can give somebody. So you can see that at Rode, ROADIE.drsteve.com, or just go to stuff.drsteve.com and scroll down. Also, you can go straight through to Amazon. It does help keep us on the air. There's no question about that. And lose weight. You can do. There's Ralphie. We had somebody complain about Ralphie being in the studio. They said, for dog's sake, take the collar off. Because apparently he was jingling his dog collar.
Entirely too lazy for that.
Hello, buddy. Hello.
He's excited because his mom is home.
Do you have anything to say to your little friends out there in Radio Land?
Shenanigans of the worst kind.
Wait, let's see. Let him answer.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me.
No, I was talking to...
Well, he can't
talking to
talk.
Ralphie. Well, he just breathes. Do you not remember the time we had Ozzy in here and he was breathing so loud and we'd ask questions and just say, Ozzy, what do you think? And you do. So where were we? Oh, yeah. Check out Noom, NOOM.drsteve.com. And for that, you get 20% off if you decide to do it, but you get 2 weeks free to see if you even want to do it. It's free. And there's benefit to those first 2 weeks, too, so no real downside to doing it. It's only a 3-month program, and it's a psychology program. It's not a diet. And it has radically changed the way I look at food. I mean, what did I eat when we were at the beach?
Same stuff I eat. Oh,
Shut
at the
up.
beach?
You
lie. Salads every time.
Because I like them.
Let's go to the fancy restaurant. Let's go to the good restaurant. I'll have a salad.
Well, in the old days, I wouldn't have done that for anything, but I actually retrained my brain, and that's what I like. But now, you notice I didn't just get lettuce on a plate. I got salad with blackened shrimp or something like that. It was perfectly fine. It was so good.
Salad.
And I also partook of, a reasonable amount of hors d'oeuvres. And then when, we cooked at home, I got shrimp at Simmons Market and Isle of Palms, which I highly recommend if you're down there, that you go there multiple times. And, made shrimp boil and all kinds of stuff.
I wish we were back
So you can
there.
eat all of those kinds of things. And you can even go nuts and one day eat cake. And it shows you how to get back on that horse when you fall off. So anyway, check it out, noom.drsteve.com. And then don't forget Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net as long as it's still up there. I don't know for how much longer. He doesn't have any product left.
So don't check it out.
And he blames COVID. Now, tell him your old pal, Dr. Steve, sent you. And Scott always sends some dopey autographed Xerox thing. He's so funny. Anyway, all right. Listen, we got to get to the we'll call this one the elephant in the room, I guess.
Yep.
So last episode of the podcast, and we're going to have to do something on the Sirius XM too, I guess. But our old buddy Stacy DeLoach, and I gave him multiple chances to just let me stop the show, go back and erase it, and we'd talk about something else.
The boy doesn't learn.
I gave him multiple chances, and he copped to basically getting a COVID vaccine card without actually taking the vaccine.
Which is the most naughty thing.
It's
and,
very
and
naughty.
Stupid.
And the thing is that
uncalled for.
A month ago, he got in big trouble for something I said on the show that I thought was very innocent. And now I'm getting in trouble for something he said on the show. So I told him, F you, I guess we're even now. But we got a bunch of tweets of people, and then I got this email, and this one bothered me. And I'm just going to read it to you because I asked her to call in, and ma'am, if you did call in, I did not find your voicemail. But it says, I am extremely shocked.
Me too.
And disappointed in the
in
the unethical and now this is her words, unethical, because I have something to say about this. It took me by surprise when it happened. So we played we were funny. We played the sound
Not
effect
enough.
and stuff. But anyway, the unethical and immoral actions
totally
of your beloved buddy Stacy DeLoach,
Mm-hmm.
and she spelled his name wrong, and she put Stacy Lee.
Who cares at this point?
But I think beloved buddy, if she'd put it in quotes, I would have known she was being sarcastic. But anyway, it says, I am disgusted.
Me too.
And will sadly no longer listen to the show on Sirius XM. Oh, okay. She's a Sirius XM listener. Okay, well then, I don't know why I'm reading this on the podcast, but anyway. I am saddened.
Me too.
As I have been a fan for a few years, I will miss my Saturday night ritual of listening and then often re-listening on Sunday mornings. Oh, my God, we cannot afford to lose a single listener. Now we only have 9. I can no longer do that. Your show provided a much-needed, optimistic, and lighthearted educational break from life's heaviness. I am saddened and disheartened. Thought I would share and let you know.
Well, please have her listen to this episode because this is utterly...
Well, we'll do it on...
Okay.
We'll do it next week. He's coming here next week, and we'll do Sirius XM.
We're just going to talk bad about
podcast.
him this week.
Right, and I told him
I really
that.
like him. He brings us presents. He's a very nice feller, but what a bad, he's human. Everybody makes mistakes, but what a stupid, ignorant, bad decision. People are getting
Well, you were
sick.
popping your peas like a mother, too.
Sorry,
That's okay.
I don't. I mean, I'm not a
no, I can tell. That's how mad you are.
professional.
That's how mad you are. You're popping your peas.
When you told me that he did that, I was so
Well, it's not like I was talking out of school.
And the nurse who did it, what a dumbass she is. I mean, we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are dying.
Well,
and to go and be
true.
like, oh, let me get a copy of the card. Here's $100. What an asshole. That's all I'm going to say.
Here's the thing. I'm not 100. We'll find out next week because we have a lot more questions than we did. I'm not sure why he was there in the first place. Why did he need that card?
Because his work probably said so.
Well, maybe, but so I'm not okay with employers, no matter what the situation is, mandating that their workers get a vaccine that has not been approved by the FDA. Now, it is approved to give it to people under an emergency authorization, but it has not been fully vetted by them. And we've talked about this, that I've always said, look, if you think that they're putting nanobots in you and they're tracking you or they're changing your DNA, then I'll discuss with you why that's insane.
But you can't just say that, Steve.
Well, hang on. No,
you are pro-vaccine.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. That's not true. I am anti the varicella vaccine, as you are well aware. I'm not pro all vaccines. I am.
You're pro this one.
Not okay. It's more fucking nuanced than that. Here's the thing. This vaccine has not been approved by the FDA. So I understand why some people, and particularly employers, my employer isn't requiring it, and lots of other employers aren't. What if? Let me just throw a what if to you. What if you're a large health system and you required everyone to get that you mandated this unapproved vaccine, and then the FDA later on, which this isn't going to happen, but what if said we're not going to approve this vaccine? Now you've mandated people to get a vaccine or a medication or whatever it is that the FDA ultimately didn't approve. And that's a bad move because that opens you up to liability.
That's a bad move, but you said it wasn't going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. But
so I just really think in the life that we're in right now, and how everybody is putting their life, all these concerts where people have to be vaccinated before they can go.
Right.
I'm pro that because I don't want to go. I did not pop that one. I don't want to go to places and be in crowds where people are lying, big fat lying.
Yeah, that's the issue, isn't it?
About getting their vaccine with these fake cards, and the fine is can be up to what did they say
I don't know.
On the Today Show?
Oh, really?
Yes, $5,000 if you fake that emblem, which of course he did not fake it.
His isn't fake.
But he came about it in even worse circumstances.
Yep. So you bring up okay, so we got into the weeds a little bit on this. My issue is integrity on this one. And here's the thing. And he had COVID, so his point is, why would I need this vaccine?
Because we don't know how long.
Okay, well, we don't know anything. We don't know anything about anything.
So you should do what the right thing is at the time.
Okay, I'm going to turn your mic off.
I don't care. Turn it off. This is ridiculous.
Let me just finish my point because I'm agreeing with you. So this is his point. I've had COVID. what benefit am I going to get from having the vaccine? Now, up until just recently, we did not have evidence that getting a vaccine on top of natural immunity had any benefit. There is some evidence now. It's not incontrovertible, but it is evidence. There was a Kentucky study that showed that people who got reinfected were 2.3, something like that, 2-point-something times more likely to be reinfected if they had natural immunity and were not vaccinated. Okay, so there is that. Now, the numbers are really small. So saying there's a 200% increase when you're going from 2 people to 4 people, I'm not saying that's what the numbers were, it doesn't really speak very clearly about what the actual risk is. So what I'm going to try to do over the next week is calculate a number needed to treat. In other words, how many people do we have to vaccinate who had COVID-19 to prevent one reinfection? And the number is going to be very high. But anyway, but again, my issue is integrity. So if you feel like you don't need the vaccine, then just don't get it.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter any kind of math that you spend the next week doing. It's all going to be wrong.
It's not. The math will be right. I'm not saying, I'm not defending him. Okay? What I'm trying to have a more nuanced conversation about the overall issues that are associated with this thing. But again, let me just go back to where I was going to. This is about integrity. If you don't want to get the vaccine, or you think you don't need it, or you're nervous that they're going to do something that's going to do something to you, then just don't get it.
Don't get it. Don't pretend.
Okay.
Sorry.
You talk. That's okay. You go ahead.
Don't get it. Don't pretend.
Okay. Don't get it and then stand your ground. That is what you don't want to do, in my opinion, is to not get it and then go pay somebody, because the circumstance was that he went in to the Doc in the Box, and the nurse brought him the vaccine. I'm assuming it was a single dose vaccine, like J&J or something, because this only happened one time. And he took the syringe and squirted it into his water bottle, put the syringe back down, and gave her $100 and said, "I want my card." Now, I am kind of glad. I am glad that we are discussing this, and I'm glad we discussed it last week, because people need to know this is happening out there, and it can be somebody that you like and otherwise, trust with your life otherwise. And but I really feel that where he went awry in this on an ethical sense was when he
drove into the parking lot.
No, yeah, when he decided way before he drove in the parking lot, when he decided that he was going to get the card without taking the vaccine. Just stand your ground. Just say, "I'm not doing it, and this is why." And then bring your receipts and be an advocate for not doing it if you think that there's a reason why you shouldn't do it and other people like you shouldn't do it. And that I can respect that. I can also respect someone that comes to me and says, "I don't want to take this vaccine until it's FDA approved." I can respect that, because there is a possibility it won't be approved. I think it's exceedingly slim. Or if someone said to me, "I am concerned about this vaccine because I know about the cat studies where there was antibody-induced immune enhancement, and those cats, many of them died, and it was a coronavirus vaccine." Now, the answer to that was that coronavirus vaccine, which was an mRNA vaccine, was targeting a different protein than this one is. And we've not seen any of that with this. We've been doing it long enough. We've vaccinated 1 billion plus people at this point. We haven't seen a single case that I'm aware of antibody-induced immune enhancement where somebody actually got worse because they took the vaccine. Now, I'm sure there are some cases out there where people got really, really sick, and tragically, may have been even fatal complications, because there is with everything. When you do 1 billion things, no matter how safe it is, there's going to be some severe outliers and tragic outcomes and stuff. But anyway, so that's my issue. I just don't, Tacey, I don't want you thinking that I'm defending him just because I'm talking about or defending his actions, just because I'm talking about nuanced things that have to do with the facts about this vaccine.
I think with
I have no
this virus where it's at, I think nuance speaking right now is kind of
what? Say it. Say the word.
I just think it's ridiculous.
So
People
I'm
need to be
ridiculous.
going and getting their vaccine. And especially if, like you said, they can stand their ground if they don't want to get it.
Right.
It's
just do
not
that.
smart.
But just
but
do that.
They can do that.
I respect that.
I mean, I don't respect it. I think it's putting everyone else in danger. And then
okay.
I just think...
Does someone that had COVID-19 pose a danger to anyone at this point if they've recovered from it?
We don't know.
Exactly.
According to Johns Hopkins, as of August 2021, the COVID-19 case fatality rate for the United States is 1.7%.
Wow.
And they're mostly what, Steve? What are those?
Oh, unvaccinated folks.
Okay.
I mean,
there you go.
There is no question right now, and I'm just throwing this out to our listeners who may be on the fence. We're seeing cases go up. A few weeks ago, I was saying, hey, the cases are going up, but we're not seeing an increase in hospitalizations. We are now. Now, why is that? It's not necessarily that the percentage of people that are getting sick is higher. It could be even lower, but the number of people who are getting sick or that are being infected now are higher. So let's say if you have, let's just throw out a disease X where 1% of people come into the hospital with it. If you have 100 cases, well, 1 person will come in. But if you have 1,000 cases, 10 will come in. And if you have 10,000 cases, 100 will come in. And it looks like, oh gosh, this thing's getting worse. But it's the relative percentages are the same. It's just that the overall numbers are increasing. And so one of the ER guys that I talked to said that if he has a 45-year-old patient with COVID-19 on the ventilator, he will bet $1,000 that person is unvaccinated, and he will win almost every time. And we're talking 99-point-something%. That's his estimate. So, the vast majority of folks who are getting really sick are unvaccinated. Now, people will have counterexamples. Well, I know somebody that had, the vaccine, and they were fully vaccinated. They got COVID-19. They died anyway. Absolutely true. There's no vaccine that is 100% effective. This one is the closest that we've ever come that I'm aware of, except for maybe tetanus, that we've ever come to finding a foolproof vaccine as far as the numbers are concerned. Tetanus, of course, is the vaccine is against a toxin that's made by Clostridium tetani, kind of a different situation. A more analogous situation would be the measles vaccine, which is also very effective. So, it's – well, now I've lost my train of thought. You talk.
It's just stupid.
I don't disagree.
I
just can't believe that
I'm
he
so
let us –
disappointed. I just really am.
Yeah.
There's just no reason. It's just gangsta, and it's not gangsta in a cool way either,
Yeah.
It's just, well, I hope he doesn't get anybody sick.
Yeah. Well, I think the chances that he poses a danger to somebody because he's had COVID-19 is low. But you know what? Now that I think about it, I think all this happened before he got the virus.
He just lied, and he's putting people at risk, and that's all you can say about it.
Today's episode is brought to you by Angie. Angie has made it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get all your jobs and projects done well. Let me tell you, there's the version of it where you try to do something at home, and then there's a version of it where you have someone help you, you watch them do it the right way, and you go, thank God I didn't try to do that myself. I have fully done things around the home that I think look good, and then a bang in the night, and I wake up to a shelf collapsing, a painting falling off the wall. I've seen it all go south. I own a home, and I can tell you, I know how much work it can take. Whether it's everyday maintenance and repairs or making dream projects a reality, it can be hard just to know where to start. But now all you need to do is Angie that and find a skilled local pro who will deliver the quality and expertise you need. Whatever your home project, big or small, indoor or outdoor, you can Angie that and connect with skilled professionals to get the project done well. Right now, one of my wish lists is I want a bike for my condo in Milwaukee, and I would love to rig it up on a pulley in the ceiling because I have one of those like lofted ceilings, but I'm so scared to try that on my own. Angie has 20 years of home experience, and they've combined it with new tools to simplify the whole process. Bring them your project online or with the Angie app. Answer a few questions and Angie can handle the rest from start to finish, or help you compare quotes from multiple pros and connect instantly, which means you can take care of any home project in just a few taps. Because when it comes to getting the most out of your home, you can do this when you Angie that. Download the free Angie mobile app today or visit Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
With Amex Platinum, you can really be in the now. Access to Resi Priority Notify. Yes. 4 p.m. checkout with fine hotels and resorts booked through Amex Travel.
We needed this.
And dedicated card member entrances at select events.
Let's go!
Means you can focus on the present moment. That's the powerful backing of American Express. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/withAmex. Card member entrance access not limited to Amex Platinum Card.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. We're driven by the search for better, but when it comes to hiring, the best way to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match with Indeed. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/SBO. Terms and conditions apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least that was the plan. Except now the Dastardly Desk Clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want your connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Well, he certainly, by carrying around a card that says he got the vaccine when he didn't, certainly is not a truthful
it's
statement.
Unethical, and it's
now
and
people say, "Well, you can get in trouble for faking the CDC logo." He didn't fake anything. His card is legit.
No, what he did is
it's just
is
what
just
it says
bad.
on it is not legit.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just very disappointed.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's going to be here next week, and I don't know. We'll see how that goes. You know, because a lot. Now, listen. If you support his position on this, feel free to call in. We'll just do a whole show about that if we have to. But I'd like to hear what the justification is. I mean, I get it. If you feel like the government is overstepping in some way, or your local government is overstepping, or your employer is overstepping. But I'll tell you, there were health systems around here in this state and other states that mandated the vaccine, and they lost, about 100 of their nursing staff, which we cannot afford to do right now. So I think that
because it's so full of COVID patients.
Right, not just COVID patients. Listen, that some of that is a bit of a myth too. Yes, we have some COVID patients. That's nowhere right now close to the level that we had in January when things were at its worst. But there's a ton of pent-up demand of people who don't have COVID that are trying to get into the hospital. For example...
But still COVID is the issue, correct?
that's what caused the problem. The year and a half of lockdowns caused people not to go have their colonoscopies. And now instead of having stage 1 cancer, they've got stage 3 cancer, and it's got to be removed. So that's one kind of thing. People didn't get a lot of their screening tests done. We're seeing a lot more myocardial infarctions because the people that were having chest pain weren't getting checked out because they were afraid to come to the hospital. So yes, that's due to COVID itself. So there's a lot of pent-up demand, and we're being flooded with people right now that aren't COVID related. But what happens when you get those folks in, and now you get a surge in COVID cases coming in? Because right now we're admitting more than we're discharging in COVID, which means that the numbers are going to keep going up. And then you start closing down units, and then you have to stop doing elective procedures where the person is going to spend the night. And if you get so full, now you put people at risk because they have to have a gallbladder removed. It's an emergency, and they can't get them in. Now that's what we're trying to avoid with all of this.
Just like we tried to avoid it in the beginning.
Right. No, we're still trying to avoid all of that. And we got down to a place where we all kind of thought this thing was mostly over. In our system, the admissions for COVID were hovering around 20 for quite a long time. And then this Delta thing happened, and now we're seeing those cases rise again. So yeah, it's bad timing. I think, like I said, we're going to have him in the studio. Feel free to be here next time. And Scott and we're just gang up on the poor guy. But
I think I'm not here.
Are you not?
No.
You're gone next week?
I'm gone next week.
You hear that, ladies?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, boy, yeah. 65-year-old.
Come get you some.
65-year-old hobbling around old man. That'll turn a lot of our listeners on, Taze.
Well, I hope that the nice lady who wrote the email understands and knows that nobody thinks that that's okay.
Yeah.
And
well,
I'm not
Stacy
perfect.
doesn't even think it's okay, I'm sure.
But if I did something like that, I certainly wouldn't say anything to anybody. And I was so happy when I got my vaccine that I cried.
Yeah. Yep, I remember. And let's listen to this voicemail from this person. I'm just looking at our live voicemails at 347-766-4323. Hang on.
Hey, this is Eric. I work in Northeast Ohio at the hospitals. Our hospitals are completely overrun, and it's basically people that were too scared to come to the hospitals over the past year are now trying to catch up on everything that they missed. We have currently among the 4 local hospitals probably 24 COVID cases, and 20 of them don't need to be there. They're on 2 liters of oxygen, getting nebulizer treatments at their request, require no positive pressure ventilation. So I'm having a hard time rationalizing shutting anything down.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of lockdowns. How much more pressure can our small businesses stand? I mean, you and I have multiple friends that have small businesses, and if you think big business is the employer in this country, we got to do something about big business. No, it's small businesses employ the vast majority of people in this country. I don't know what the number is. I don't know if you can look it up, but
nope, not going to. What?
It's a large number. And lockdowns don't seem to do anything about to accomplish what we want. And what it does is it pushes small businesses and their employees into the unemployment ranks.
I'm scared to death I'm going to get stuck back at home for months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I get it. I'm scared to death of that, too.
Not that my job's great right now.
You hear that, ladies?
Yeah. Come get you some.
Wink, wink. Don't come around if Tacy gets locked down.
You might not have a lot of time.
So, yeah.
Better get it while you can.
That's right. While she's still on the road. Well, we probably shouldn't joke about that. Anyway, so that is Eric saying that their hospitals are indeed overrun, but not by COVID patients. And I can concur right now that's true for us as well. But the concern is what happens when those two waves meet each other. You've got the waves of people with this pent-up demand coming to the hospital, and then you have this wave of people that end up needing ventilators. And so we got plenty of ventilators. That's not the problem. Staff is the problem. And that is true everywhere. And in the old days, and by the old days I mean 18 months ago, when your emergency room got so full that you were putting people in the halls, you could go out. You could go into a status called diversion. And when you go on diversion, they'd go somewhere else. They would just go past you until things calmed down and take them to somewhere else. Now, everybody's on diversion. There's nowhere to divert these patients to. So you know what you do? In your emergency room, you have people in the rooms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 20 or 30, however big your emergency room is. Now you're putting people in the hall, and you're actually taking pieces of paper and creating new room numbers that are the beds that are in the hall between room 1 and 2 and room 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, like that. That is some crazy S right there.
It's just very unfortunate.
So I'm
it's all Stacy's fault.
poor little feller. Well, yeah, it is his fault.
Nice guy.
No, greatest.
Fat liar.
Yeah. Well, on this particular thing, very naughty, I will say that.
Naughty.
Yeah.
Naughty of naughty.
All right. Let's see here.
Are we done?
Yeah, you want to?
I mean, I don't know. We got lasagna in the oven.
Oh, God, we do, don't we? And
yes,
I can't wait to eat it. So our garden has gone ape shit this year. And, if we have to blame everything on COVID, we have to give COVID some credit for stuff, too. All the bad things in our life, we go, well, it's COVID. But our garden has gone apeshit, so I guess we have to say that's COVID, too.
Yeah.
Somehow it's COVID.
It was COVID
related.
last year.
And so I made lasagna, quote unquote, out of dehydrated squash. I took all those squash we had downstairs while you were gone, and sliced them up, squared them off, and sliced them, and then put them in the dehydrator. And then I used that as the noodles. And then I took all those tomatoes we had, and I made marinara, or spaghetti sauce / marinara out of those. And I reduced it for 2 hours last night to get it nice and thick. And it's got fresh basil from our garden. It's got onions from our garden. It's got rosemary from our garden. I mean, shit. And then I was going to make mozzarella cheese. I just decided that's
too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
So I bought mozzarella and some fontina, and I got some Parmesan in there. And
did you get you some retardo cheese?
I did not get any of your mother's type of cheese, and that was kind of stupid on my part, but I think it'll still be good. Oh, and a crap load of Italian sausage, which always makes everything good. All right. Well, we have a crap load of other calls. We will do those. Maybe.
What is the general opinion of the other calls?
About Stacy?
Mm-hmm.
No, there weren't any positive calls.
Okay.
Nope. No, I didn't get any that were positive supporting him. But I know there are people out there that are like, yeah, I would do the same thing. I know there are people out there.
I mean, he probably gave, I don't know how many people, an idea that's just
yeah, well,
dangerous.
There aren't that many people you could just throw a hundy at, and they're just going to give you the thing. But let me see. Let's see if. Okay, let's listen to this one, then we'll get out of
Well,
here.
first,
okay.
when is the lasagna supposed to
Hey, Dr. Steve. Your pal,
About now.
Jefferson
Okay.
from Pennsylvania. I hope you're well today.
Yeah, man.
Great,
you too.
of course you are.
Okay, sorry.
I'm vaxxed, waxed, and ready to relax.
All right.
I've got two questions for you. One is COVID-related, and one is a prostate question.
Okay.
Let's come out of the gate with the prostate.
That must
one.
be the prostate
I read a
question.
report
Get it?
today that said men who masturbate 21 times a month cut their chances of prostate cancer by a third.
Okay, so
You read that too, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a cameo for somebody on this. By the way, if you want me to do a cameo, it's still like $7. It's cameo.com/weirdmedicine. I will say fluid. I will say secretions. I will basically say anything you want. I'm not as, goofy about it as High Pitch Eric is, but I mean, I'll make an interpretation. But I think my cameos are decent. But anyway.
If my friend masturbates 63 times a month, does he effectively eliminate?
No, it doesn't work that way. The threshold is 21. So if you want to get the reduced risk of having prostate cancer, you got to ejaculate 21 times a month. And, I'm working on maybe 4, so I'm a little behind on this one. We're going to have to do some catch-up taste.
Mm-hmm.
His risk of prostate cancer?
No.
All right. Now that we got past that.
Okay.
Here's
another one for you.
Yeah, this guy's great.
If 100 vaccinated people were at a party with Bill Gates and their microchips.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say they all got Moderna, for argument's sake.
Okay.
One of them had an active Delta infection. How many people who are vaccinated out of the 100 would likely get infected?
That is such a great question, and I got to be honest with you. We don't have an answer for that. What is the risk? Now, I will be able to give you a partial answer if I can get the Kentucky numbers. I need the number of people that got vaccinated, and I need the number of cases. And if the 248 people that they studied that were vaccinated, that were reinfected folks, were not a random sample, but they were the complete cohort. In other words, that's all they had. I can calculate the risk for you. And I'm going to tell you it's very low, but it's not 0. That's the problem. All right? So anyway, all right. Well, this was an interesting show.
Sorry.
No, you're awesome. Listen, I need you to play the other side. Well, not the other side. We agree.
Quit popping my peas.
But I need you to keep me honest, and you do. And you're hot. And I'm looking at you crossing
like
your
I'm
eyes.
literally hot.
I think you're going to.
It's really hot up here.
You might.
Nope. Not
Okay.
going to happen.
All right. Never mind. All right. Well, we can't forget.
We got Love Island UK to watch.
Oh, well, that is true. All right. Well, I can get one of those 21 ejaculations out watching that. So we'll be
Whatever you want to do, sweetie.
We can't forget Rob Sprance, Bob Kelly, Greg Hughes. And by the way, the Love Island UK, vastly superior to Love Island USA.
Vastly. Although I have a friend watching Love Island US, and she's enjoying it.
It's good. We've watched both. I just love, I guess I'm an Anglophile, but I love picking up all those different idioms and stuff. And I learned how to pronounce CWTCH now. It's a Welsh word, and it means like a hug or just to get close to somebody, and it's cwtch. What do you think of that? But it's spelled CWTCH. I learned that from Love Island UK. See, you learn stuff from this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That Gould Girl, Lewis Johnson, Paul Ovcharsky, Chowdy 1008, Eric Nagel, the Port Charlotte Whore taste. The Saratoga Skank taste. Roland Campos, sister of Chris, Sam Roberts. Oh, and I still have 3 tickets to the WATP live event in Lombard, Illinois.
Should that tell you anything?
What it tells me is I bought tickets for my stupid friends and then they bailed on me. So I've got 3 tickets if you guys want them. Somebody get a hold of me. And what they wanted me to do, Tace, and I'm sure you would approve of this, is for me to get 3 of the most flamboyant escorts that they could that we could find, and just have Dr. Steve's there with
Let's
3.
Just not.
I know, and I said Tacey will not.
If you want.
No, I'm not going to. Tacey would not.
It's kind of
be
illegal,
okay
and
what's illegal?
Aren't escorts illegal in
Well,
Chicago?
not to just escort you somewhere. I wouldn't have intercourse with them. They would just go there and make me. It would just be a goofy, weird thing. Well, look at who's sitting with Dr. Steve. He's supposed to be so normal, but anyway. But yeah, I'm not doing that. It's too expensive. That's really why.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Did I say the Saratoga skank, Tace?
She's that and much more.
Roland Campos, sister of Chris, Sam Roberts, she who owns pigs and snakes.
Loves them.
Pat Duffy, Dennis Falcone, Matt Kleinschmidt, Dale Dudley, Holly from the Gulf, the great Steve Tucci and his little dog Ember, the great Rob Bartlett, Vic's Nether Fluids, Carl's Deviated Septum, Casey's Wet T-Shirt, Bernie and Sid, Martha from Arkansas's daughter, Ron Bennington, and Fez Watley, whose support of this show has never gone unappreciated. Listen to our SiriusXM show on the Faction Talk channel, SiriusXM, channel 103, Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, on demand, and other times at Jim McClure's pleasure. Many thanks to our listeners whose voicemail and topic ideas make this job very easy. Go to our website at drsteve.com for schedules and podcasts and other crap. Until next time, check your stupid nuts for lumps. Quit smoking, get off your asses, and get some exercise.
Don't lie.
And don't lie. And so we'll see you in 1 week. Lie.
Lie.
Stacey, lie.
Lie.
Now, anybody that gets that reference is our friend.
Yes.
We'll see you in 1 week for the next edition of Weird Medicine.
Bye.